are now at the halfway point in our 6-parter Broken Blade film series. We are at part 3, which is titled Scars from an Assassin's Blade. After Rygard is knighted and is titled the operator of the ancient golem Delphine, Ziggen tells Rygard that there is a limited amount of time that he's able to use the golem, hence why we saw that timer inside the machine. Well, that's good information and all, but I believe it's time we head out into the battlefield and see what our three lovely guests of the Commonwealth are waiting for on him. Zess, Cleo, and I'll say for this episode, Elect. It's E-L-E-K-T. Again, pronunciations are fun for certain names, ain't it? So they wait out in the desert where no one sees them as Rygard just springs into action out of nowhere, ready to battle against his former best friend from the Academy, while Cleo and Elect are on the sidelines watching the battle between Zess and Rygard. It's then that Elect realizes the ancient armor, something that he has heard legends of and hasn't heard and has not seen before. That's the ancient golem that he's operating and has not seen before until this point. Well, it seems like the armor on Rygard's golem is doing some damage. It turns out Rygard's been hiding some weapons in there. Which he is. He pulls his lance and sword out, takes a swing right at Zess, thinking at this point that he might have already struck in the blow, because apparently the core of the golems are actually within the chest. It's not within the head, which actually would kind of make more sense. Zess's golem seems to go down and Rygard assumes that he killed him. But back to the sideline, Cleo's pent-up rage suddenly begins to boil, especially after the suicide of Lee and what she assumes is Zess's last breath. She goes out into the battlefield and strikes down Rygard and the Delphine golem. But it's not over yet. It seems that she also has some more rage to pent up on. General Balder and his troops. Cleo gets a few strikes in, even using one of the actual golems as a meat shield and whatnot, stealing one of their swords. But that is put to a halt from one of General True's members that shoots the golem right in the leg, and it essentially just stops. And, well, by perfect amount of distraction, Elect gets Zess out of the golem, which thankfully he's not dead, and they fall back, leaving Cleo to be taken captive by the troopers, and Ziggen takes her in for a more relaxing pace, not a torturous thing, sent to a dungeon-esque thing, but she's not going to let anything down. Cleo takes a weapon, forces her to strip and change into some other clothes in order for her to escape out of the capital. We also find out the main reason why the Athenians are going after Krishna. Their supply of quartz are shortening out, and they have a small amount that they are able to use, and limited resources means, crap man, we're in deep trouble. Let's invade a colony for more. We also get to see Ziggs, Hoder, and Rygard's time at the Academy, and all these certain little storylines or whatever, and how somewhat they became the best of friends during their time. There's one part where Rygard is trying to save this little owl-like creature from being attacked, but Zess refuses to take part in saving the creature, leaving Hoder to come across the two and help Rygard out in saving him. Thus, the pet went over to what you would assume is Hoder, but as it turns out, Zess actually tamed the thing and kept it pampered and well-groomed and all that stuff. Which shows he at least has some sort of a soft spot. But something happened. Something after that time in the academy must have struck something. It's either my blind stupidity, but I'm still curious on why Zess is even fighting this war to begin with. Maybe it'll be answered in another episode, or at least the next film, for all I know. Who knows? But let's cut back to the rest of the story. Rygard seems to be doing what he can to try and appease Graham, but all seems to fail eventually, especially Rygard trying to feed him his food and then just flying away in anger, and he'll come back when he's less stressed and all that. But then he's in the hangar where Cleo has taken Siggy hostage, where Graham suddenly lands on Rygard's head, reflecting on that said past where Zess actually took care of him, which you seem to have grown up healthily and grown up nice. But also in the present day, he's grown plump and big, with Cleo still full of rage because of what Rygard has done previously. She uses Siggy's weapon to kill him, but it turns out there's no ammo. It was not loaded to begin with. And she's taken back into custody, which that leaves the end of Scars from an Assassin's Blade. It could just be me being at the halfway point of this series where I'm just like, there's only so much I can say for like an entire series itself. There is so much ground to cover for this, I cannot do it justice. It's good to see the backstory of Zess, Rygard, and Hoder as they become friends at the academy, but Zess slowly breaks apart from the two, which is a depressing thing to see of a friendship to happen. It's bound to happen at some points in everyone's lives, no point denying it, all that stuff. Well, it seems like the series is going by so quickly you're barely even able to process it. We have 3 more to go. It'll be quite cool to see how the rest of it plays out. I mean, the preview at the end of it shows, I bet the action's gonna be real good. But we'll have to find out in the next movie. So, see you guys later.